Guys, 10 minutes of NIDA, halachot NIDA. It's our shiur number 3, right? Number 3. So, questions and answers. So, a very common question about halachot NIDA is when does a woman bless the blessing of Asher Kedisham Tzivanu al Hatevila? When do we bless the blessing of the mikve? Do we do it inside the mikve? Do we do it before we go inside the mikve? Do we do it outside the door where the mikve is, in the outer door, not in the inner door? Or can we do it even in the inner door? What's the halakha? So the halakha is there's a very big difference between Ashkenazim and Sfaradi. The Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Reish that a woman who goes inside a mikve, she's supposed to say the bracha Asher Tzivanu al on the tefillah. She says it when she goes inside the mikveh. So the question is, does she do it before she goes inside or outside? Or inside the mikveh? The halacha is that when a woman in our days where the mikveh water is clear, the water is clear and you could see inside the mikveh, that a woman is allowed to say the bracha inside the mikveh as long as the water is cold. It's not hot. But if the mikveh is hot water, Maran Yabia Omer says, since when in the hot water, the sweat and the dirt off a human body comes off, so the place becomes, in a small sense, like a bathroom. Tum'ah. There's tum'ah there, and you can't say the name of God. So the Sephardi girls, they should say the bracha of the mikveh before they go inside the room of the mikveh. While they're still wearing the robe, say the bracha. They're not allowed to speak in the middle. Then go inside the room, take off the robe, and dip inside the mikveh. The Ashkenazi girls, they have a custom to dip once, say the bracha, and then dip again, while they're in the water. In that case, they have what to rely on, the Shevet HaLevi and other Acharonim, that say since the waters today keep on getting filtered and changed, so there isn't a lot of dirt and garbage over there from the sweat and from the pores of the people who have been there before, so it's not a big deal. It doesn't have the status of a place that you can't say God's name, and therefore they could say the blessing while they're in the mikvah themselves. But the Ashkenazi girls have to be careful that the water has to cover their, that means it has to come at least until under their hearts. So there should be a separation between their heart and their parts. So therefore there shouldn't be an isur and a prohibition of libo ro'eh ta'erva. But in the case where, let's say, a girl goes to a Sephardi girl goes to an Ashkenazi mikveh where the woman doesn't know the halakha, what should she do in that case? In that case where the palanit, the lady, doesn't know the halakha, she should be very adapt about her minhag, and she should follow what the Shulchan Aruch says and what the Rav Ovadia Yosef says, that she should say the blessing in the outer room while she's wearing her robe, and then go inside the mikveh. If the lady doesn't allow her to do that and she has no choice, then she could follow the rules of the Ashkenazim and rely on the fact that the waters get changed daily and there isn't zohama over there. Now, there's a different issue over here. Can a married woman say a blessing while her hair is uncovered? We know that the minhag ha'olam, the tradition of the world, is that Jewish girls, even though they're single, they could say the blessing of Hashem's name, any blessing, even though their head is uncovered. Jewish men always have their head covered. Either a kippah that covers most of their head, as the Shulchan Aruch says, or a hat that covers the whole head, as the blessing is said every morning, Oter Yisrael Betifara. But in a case where a woman is going inside a mikveh, and she's a married woman, if she's single, she has what to rely on. Single women do not cover their hair, so therefore she could say a blessing without having her hair covered. But how about married women? Could they say the blessing of the mikveh with their hair uncovered? The halacha is, it's better if they cover their hair and then say the blessing. If not, the the balanit, the mikve lady, takes her hand and puts her hand on her head? Huh?
No.
A towel. Yeah, whatever the case is, a towel. There's no towel, and the mikve lady can put her head. But let's say the lady wants to herself put her hand on her head and say the blessing. That does not count. She cannot do that. Why? Because your own hand can be a covering to your body. So therefore, a married woman should be very careful. They should not go over this isur. And all these things are mashpiyah to the children they might have in the future. It's mashpiyah. It has a effect. So therefore, a married woman should be careful to have her head covered while she says the blessing of the tvilah, of the mikveh. So let's just review. Ashkenazi women say the blessing of the mikveh while they're inside the mikveh. They dip, then they say the blessing, then they dip again. In that case, they should be careful that the water is clean and their head is covered. The Sephardi woman should say the blessing outside in the outer door and then come inside, take off the robe while not speaking, obviously, then dip inside the mikveh. And also, Sephardi women should be very careful not to forget to have their head covered while they say the bracha of the mikveh. If the Sephardi woman has no choice, she could rely on the Ashkenazi poskim and say the bracha inside the mikveh. One more halacha. How many times does a woman have to dip while she's inside the mikveh? The halacha is that she only has to dip one time. She doesn't have to dip more than one time. If she wants to dip more than once, she could. Some women have a minhag to dip 7 times. Some women have a minhag to dip 2 or 3 times. If she dips 2 or 3 times for the purpose of the halacha, that there shouldn't be anything stuck to her body, chatzitza, and she does it 3 or more times, therefore this becomes already for her a halacha. She needs to do hatarat nedarim if she wants to stop doing it. But if she did it, she used to dip many more times just because she liked doing it, then she doesn't need to do hatarat nedarim if she just wants to dip 1 time from now on and on. May Hashem bless all the people who watch this video with bracha, hatzlacha, yeshut gedolot. May we all keep Hilchot Nida according to the true halacha, according to our own, according to the traditions of our forefathers. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.